We all know about the figure of the pentagram. It's a 5-pointed star. And we've all seen that depiction of the pentagram as a person. And that's exactly what it represents. It represents you as a person. You can see your head on the top. If you stood with your arms outstretched and your feet about shoulder width apart, you would notice that you are in the form of a star. In fact, this is a posture in magic called the star posture. I'd like to talk about the magic of the pentagram today. First thing that you want to do is recognize that you are your own pentagram. And I like that as an affirmation. I'll sometimes start out with that. I am my own pentagram. Many times we think of the pentagram as being some sort of sacred symbol outside of ourselves. We don't realize it is representative of us. And being that it's your own pentagram and that's who you are, that represents your power. And you can use that power anytime you want. One way that you can find that power is to take a moment to ground and center, relax your body, and then stand up with your feet shoulder width apart and your arms outstretched. And I like my palms up, but you don't have to have them up if you don't want to. And just notice that you are a star. And inhaling in through your nose, hold the breath for a moment. As you're holding that breath, see the star within you light up, and then exhale. And do that a few more times. Inhaling, hold the breath, see the star within you get brighter and brighter, and then exhale. And do that 5 times. Once you've activated that inner pentagram, seeing that, feeling that, knowing that it's there, simply decide what it is that you want. See what you want, feel what you want. Accept that the power of the pentagram within you is sufficient to bring you your desire. And I like to see the center of the pentagram as being right around my heart area. And I feel that my desire is happening right at my heart center. And then what I do is I feel that's happening. If you can visualize, that's great. You can see it happening. But if you don't visualize, that's fine. Just feel it. Just feel that nice, joyous, relaxed, powerful sensation that your desire is now a reality. And then release that desire in whatever way feels most comfortable. I like to sometimes just see the whole pentagram move out from my body until I can see it in front of me. And then it goes off in its own fashion to create all of whatever needs to be created so that my desire is fulfilled. And when I work this kind of pentagram magic, I make sure to not give too much direction as to how it's supposed to be. I just know the basic essence of what I want, and I feel that feeling in my heart as I visualize that pentagram, and then I release it. And I know that it is coming into existence with absolutely no more effort on my part. It's so simple that a lot of times people say this can't work because there's not enough ritual, there's not enough incense. If you need all that, you can incorporate it into a ritual if you'd like. You can burn the incense, you can have the tools and things like that going if you want candles and things like that. You can do that. But I think it's more powerful when we don't do that, when we leave it as a purely internal magical exercise. We're using all of the magical bodies, the air body, the fire body, the earth body, the water body, and the spirit body. So it's beyond just being a mental exercise, it's being a complete magical exercise in one. Now, the question often arises when we work pentagram spells like this is, should there be a circle around the pentagram? And my recommendation is to experiment with that and see what works best for you. Try one ritual where you have the circle and try one where you don't have the circle and see what the difference feels like to you. Everybody's mileage varies. You need to experiment with that. As with all magic, just keep a record of what you do when you did it and what the results were. Now, I do recommend working pentagram magic along with the phases of the moon and along with the normal timing, just because it seems to sit well with all of those archetypes. However, it's not really beholden to any of that. If you have a need and it happens to be the wrong phase of the moon or the wrong day of the week, you don't need to associate your pentagram with any planetary energies if you don't want to. It's very versatile. So practice with it. It's a very simple process, and I think sometimes that bothers people and they get tripped up because they want it to be complicated, because they are under the misunderstanding that more complicated means more powerful. If it's easier for you to do your relaxing and grounding and centering sitting down and then standing up after you're done, that's fine. But I prefer to stand up and do my grounding and centering. And then I take my feet shoulder width apart, outstretch my arms, and notice that I'm standing in the shape of the pentagram. And I see the pentagram starting to blaze forth within me. And I tell myself, I am my own pentagram. That's how I say it. You can change your words if you want to. I am the pentagram. I am a pentagram. I say, I am my own pentagram. And I just take a minute to just feel that 5-pointed star that is me, within me and around me, through me and as me. And then I don't even state my desire. I just know my desire. I feel my desire at that heart center, and I see that the power of the pentagram consolidates within the center of itself, which is at my heart center. And I feel that beautiful feeling, and I know that my desire has been met, and I release it. Like I said, I like to release it by seeing that pentagram move out in front of me and then move off on its own. But some people just feel it within them and then they disperse it. It works fine no matter what you do. It's the conjuration of that pentagram and the feeling of the fulfillment of your desire at that heart center that is the key to operating this ritual. If you're an amputee, you don't have one of those limbs perhaps, or maybe you're disabled and you can't stand up, you can't stand shoulder width apart, you can't or don't feel like having your arms outstretched because it's just too much effort, that's fine. You don't need to stand up to do this ritual. What you have to do is recognize that your astral body is not an amputee. Your astral body is not disabled. Your astral body already is that pentagram. And you can see yourself in your body standing up in the shape of a pentagram. And you can see that right in your own mind's eye as if you were standing up. You want to put yourself in the first person. You don't want to see yourself over across the room doing this. You want to be standing up with your arms outstretched and your feet shoulder width apart and your head held high. You want to see that's how you are in your mind's eye, even if physically you're just seated in a chair or lying in a bed. And then you do the simple ritual where you say, I am my own pentagram, and you feel that pentagram shining within you. And then you feel the fulfillment of your desire right in the center of the pentagram, right at that heart center. And it just takes a couple of moments to do this. And when you do feel that you are complete, you see that pentagram moving out in front of you and then going to fulfill your desire. Some people want to make this very complicated. Don't think like that. Don't think in terms of turning this into an intellectual exercise. Just let the pentagram be magic. Let your pentagram be a magical tool, and it knows what to do. I just let there be a 5-pointed star within me that expands and shows itself to me. And then I feel the consolidation of my desire right in the center of that pentagram. And I know that it's happened, and I let it go. It's such a powerful tool that sometimes people don't know what to do with this kind of simplicity. And they don't understand, wait a minute, don't I need to list all of the things that I want? Don't I need to have a mantra? Don't I need to tell it exactly what to do? No, you don't. You don't. I find it's much better if you don't. You just have the basic idea of what you want. Let's say, for instance, you wanted $100,000 for something. You know what that is. You know that's what you want. The universe knows that's what you want. Your higher self is really clear that's what you want. So you don't need to sit there and say, I want my $100,000. Everybody gets that that's what you want. What you need to do is feel what that feels like at your heart center and be willing for it to be something else. What happens if it was much more than that? What happens if it was so different? And yeah, you think that it's $100,000, but what happens if all of your needs could be met in a way that's even better? than that $100,000. Maybe there's stuff associated with that $100,000 that's going to cause you problems that you don't want. So let's bypass all of that and go for the essence of what that $100,000 means for you and feel the joy of the fulfillment of that desire right at that heart center in the center of the pentagram, and let the pentagram do the work for you. Let it do the work for you, and you don't think about it anymore. You just allow it to manifest. Play around with this ritual of the pentagram. This is a different kind of ritual of the pentagram than the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. You're not inscribing the pentagram. You're not invoking it. You're not banishing it. You are it. You can't help but be this pentagram. This pentagram is who you are. It's been who you are. And regardless of the state of your physical body, your pentagram is intact because your astral body is in perfect health. Your astral body is perfect. It doesn't need any help. It doesn't need any healing. And it knows exactly how to be the pentagram. And so when you call upon that pentagram in your mind and you feel it being conjured, you feel it coming forth, it has all the power necessary to create whatever you desire whenever you need it. And all you have to do is understand the essence of your desire and feel the fulfillment of the desire right in the center of the pentagram, which is right in your heart. And that just takes some practice. So keep working at it and allow yourself to start seeing big results from doing something as simple as being your own pentagram. Thank you so much for joining me today. Blessed be.